Good afternoon. Welcome to the Midday Mull for Thursday, the 2nd of September. Following McShane's readings, we continue following the story of David. And in 1 Samuel chapter 26, Saul again begins pursuing David. And one night, David takes Abishai, one of his men. They sneak into the camp, find everybody fast asleep, and they find Saul in the middle of the camp. Verse 8, Abishai said to David, "Today God has delivered your enemy into your hands. Now let me pin him to the ground with one thrust of the spear. I won't strike him twice." Seems clear, seems obvious, entirely logical. Here's your enemy, fast asleep, end it. However, verse 9, but David said to Abishai, "Don't destroy him. Who can lay a hand on the Lord's anointed and be guiltless? As surely as the Lord lives, the Lord himself will strike him, or his time will come and he will die, or he will go into battle and perish. But the Lord forbid that I should lay a hand on the Lord's anointed." And instead they take his spear and water jug and leave the camp. And it seems like the principle that Abigail stressed yesterday, saying to David, don't shed blood unnecessarily, because that's not the way you should behave. Don't take vengeance yourself. Let God deal with it. He takes that to heart, and that's how he lives. Interestingly, also, he never refers to Saul by name or as the king. He always speaks of him as the Lord's anointed. He recognizes that Saul is in a special place, not because of whom Saul is, but because of what God has done. And that really is where we are as Christians. We are privileged. We are God's children, not because of what we are, but because of what God has done. And we see that and respect it. And then at the end of the chapter, verse 23, David says to Saul, "The Lord delivered you into my hands today, but I would not lay a hand on the Lord's anointed. As surely as I valued your life today, so may the Lord value my life and deliver me from all trouble." And he says to Saul, "In the way that I've treated you, may God treat me in the same way." And that really is what we pray as Christians. The Lord's Prayer, forgive us our sins as we forgive those who sin against us. And those things which we ask from God, which we seek from God's hand, we need to be prepared to live out in our lives as well. So be encouraged to see God's hand on you, to rely on God to work his purposes out, that we can trust him and he will deal with situations that need to be dealt with. And that we will treat everybody around us in the way that God treats us, so that we will share the love, the light, the blessing of God in the world. So may you know that, live it, and experience his blessing day by day.